Yo, 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 yo. What's good, what's good, what's good? Garden of the Knicks podcast. It's your boy Tone Rule, episode 6. We're going to call this one The Season's End. Now, before I even get started to anything, salute to all my other Knicks platforms out there. First and foremost, man, it's the Knicks. Blondish Tears, Uncle Freezy, Knicks and Night Podcast, KMD, That Movement is Crazy, Legion and Knicks Podcast, Knicks for Life, No Haters, JD Sports Talk, Knicks and Bruises, Nothing But Knicks. Like I said, so many of us, I can't even list them all off top of the dome, but I will say just go into the YouTube search bar and put in Knicks Podcast and all of us will come up. And last but not least, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel and video. Now, second of all, TNT, salute to my brother Tim. We got something special coming for the viewers real soon. Y'all just stay tuned. Something's coming real soon. Love you, brother. Miss you. My condolences. And last but not least, prayers for Mama Wu. And rest in peace. And back on the basketball tip, the New York Knicks, 4th in the Eastern Conference, eliminated in the first round by the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young and them boys came out, was ready. Now, I will say this. It was disappointing seeing us go home early the way that we did. But nothing but the less, I'm proud of my boys. I'm proud of this team. Nobody would have ever thought we would have been 4th, let alone in the playoffs, come the beginning of the season with the roster that we had. Let alone not making any trades or moves other than getting the most important piece that carried us in the playoffs, which was none other than Derrick Rose, showing vintage flashes of that old MVP Rose. But, bam, back to the topics. First and foremost, I want to get on the topic of player Reggie Bullock, a.k.a. R&B. Reggie Bullock played 40 minutes today, 40% from the field, 50% from three, finished with 12 points, but he was a minus 12. And I'm going to be honest with you. R&B was real solid for us during 2-3 quarters of the season. But coming into this first round of the playoffs, R&B was a no-show. He was AWOL with a couple of other players I'm going to get to later on down in this video. But Reggie Bullock was a big disappointment in this playoffs. He didn't have not one good or solid game in this playoffs. He was a no-show. I don't know if it was because he wasn't used to the scenery and the atmosphere, the speed of the game. I don't know what it was with Reggie Bullock, but he was AWOL during this series for us. But overall, season grade for Reggie Bullock. I'm going to give Reggie Bullock, through 72 games, I'm going to go ahead and give Reggie Bullock a solid B-. And for the postseason grade during the playoffs, Reggie Bullock's grade, I'm going to go ahead and give him a solid C-. And like I said, I already specified as far as how you go from a B- to a C-, talking about your boy R&B. Now, getting off of the boy R&B, getting on to the next player, none other than the most important player on this team, none other than Julius Randle. Somebody blew out the candle with no handles in this playoffs. But Julius Randle played 37 minutes today for us. 37 horrible minutes, might I add with that. Shot 38% from the field, 33% from three. He was 100% from free throw, fortunately. But 13 rebounds, 3 assists, no blocks, 8 turnovers, minus 14. Terrible, terrible, more terrible. Now, I'm not even going to sit here and slander your boy Julius Randle, just for the simple fact that he was at least 70 to 80% reason that we were where we were the moment we were where we were. And I say that to say this. Julius Randle was another AWOL like R&B during this first round playoff series. But you take away this playoff series and you look back at everything Julius Randle has done. Julius Randle's been remarkable, an overachiever. And like I said, the league's on notice about him. And every time we play teams, they're going to scout for him. And that's needless that's what I'm going to say about Julius Randle. And for the season-ending grade for Julius Randle, me personally, I give your boy Julius an overall for a regular season. I'm going to go ahead and give Julius a solid A. Hands down. Like I said, that has nothing to do with his postseason playoff performance. But his regular season performance, solid A, hands down. Was definitely in the conversation for MVP, even though he won the MIP, Most Improved Player Award. But Julius Randle gets a solid A for me. Post-season grade for Julius Randle, I'm going to give Julius Randle a C+. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to give him a C+. Julius Randle gets a C+, not a regular C for me, because he did have one solid game to me in the 5 games we played the Atlanta Hawks. But the 4 games he didn't show up, I don't even want to discuss that, because like I said, I'm not going to slander Randle, because he was a big part in the reason we were where we were and we made it this far. And like I said, he just didn't know how to handle that pressure without being inexperienced and having been there before with that moment. So, I guess he falls in the same category with R&B. But like I said, Randle gets a C+ as far as the postseason grade for me. And that's how I'm going to wrap it up with him. And hopefully we re-sign him, because he's definitely somebody we could build on moving forward with our roster. No, he's not your superstar max player, but he's definitely a key player. He's something more like what Chris Bosh was in that big 3 in Miami, in my honest opinion. Now, moving on to the next player is none other than Todd Gibson, who played 33 minutes tonight, shot 50% from the field, and he finished with 4 points, 2 turnovers, 1 block, 2 steals, and 10 rebounds, and it was a -15. Now, T.J. Gibson. I give Todd Gibson a solid B- for the season overall grade. Why? Because Todd was more solid for us down the stretch during the season and coming into the postseason. But I'm going to be honest with you, we got him, I think, halfway through the season. Then when we first got Todd, Tibbs was hesitant on how much he played him and when he played him and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. So I give Todd pretty much that grade for that season overall. Because like I said, we really didn't see Todd until like the last 15-ish type games going into the postseason. And that's when you started to see what Todd was doing for this team or what he meant for this team. But postseason grade, Todd Gibson, me personally, I'm going to go ahead and grade your boy for the postseason, Todd Gibson, a solid B. Why? Because Todd Gibson, Todd Gibson was completely Todd Gibson. I don't know what more or what less can you expect from somebody his age and his caliber, being through what he's been through and, doing what he has done. So he was pretty solid for us. Did a way better job than Nerlens Noel, in my opinion, as far as the center position. No, he wasn't no 2 or 3 star center, but like I said, for what he was and who he is, Todd Gibson, in my opinion, definitely held us down in the playoffs. So he gets a solid B for me for the postseason overall grade. And that's how I sum up that. Now, moving along to none other than Mr. Sophomore R.J. Barrett himself. Mr. I'm here, I'm not here. R.J. played 39 minutes for us today, shot 35% from the field, 33% from 3, 83% from free throw, had 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover, and was a -13, and he ended up with 17 points. Now, RJ. Man, listen. Season's overall grade conclusion for me for RJ Barrett for his sophomore year. I'm going to go ahead and give RJ Barrett a solid B- for the season's overall performance. Why? Is because this. RJ was pretty much an enigma to me, in my opinion, as the season started, to the point to where we didn't know as fans watching the game and watching him play if we wanted him to even start or be on the bench. And he was pretty much, like I said, a question mark until it took him a while to start, I guess, getting into rhythm and groove and the flow of the game for RJ to start, showing what he worked on in the summer and what he needed to work on coming into this summer at the end of the season. But that's pretty much the overall season's grade I give RJ. Post-season grade for me, for RJ personally, I'm going to go ahead and give RJ a C+ for this postseason. And why is because, yeah, it was his first time being in the postseason in the NBA as a pro, But at the same time, I feel like RJ relied too much on trying to shoot that three along with Kevin Knox, which worked his way out of the rotation and shot his way out of the rotation. Even though RJ's three-point shot did look much better with his form and his timing and the shots were falling, I ultimately feel like RJ is more like a slash to the rim type player, and he didn't stick to that. And I feel like when we went on that 9-game streak, and once he had that conversation with his godfather Steve Nash, he started more or less letting the game come to him, going in with the flow of the game. And then when we went on the streak and everybody was shooting, and we were shooting 110 points, 115, 120 points a game or whatever, RJ wanted some. Who wouldn't want some? So at the end of the day, I feel like he relied too much on shooting that jump shot and then didn't work on his mid-range and getting to the rim and getting to that free throw line. So overall, postseason grade for me for RJ is a C+, because the inconsistency has to stop. You were too much of a high pick, in my opinion, to be inconsistent the way that you are. You got to step it up and get it going. Now, moving on to the next player, in my opinion, one of the most important key players, was one of the biggest trades, in my opinion, during the trade deadline, even though it wasn't a blockbuster trade, is none other than Mr. Derrick MVP Playoff Rose. Now, Derrick Rose played only 26 minutes today for us, shot 27% from the field, and was a -11, only finished with 6 points and 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Now, let me get to Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose gets a super G pass for me today, and let me tell you why. D Rose gets a pass for me on a simple fact is, we played 5 games this playoffs. Derrick Rose showed up for 4.5 of those 5 games, right? And I feel like this. Nobody else on the New York Knicks, besides Derrick Rose, showed up to play every single day, every single game. Not only that, once we acquired Derrick Rose on this team became a different team. No, we didn't hit the jackpot, but at the same time, we hit on a number to where we was moving in the right direction, if you know what I mean, for all my gamblers out there. But today was the only game throughout this playoff series that Derrick Rose, like I said, wasn't the Rose we saw the last 4 games prior. And if you ask me honestly, I think the man was tired. Tibbs ran him down like an old hoopty. And Derrick Rose ain't come here for that. You know, yes, Derrick Rose came here for his leadership, his playmaking, to make, you know, the young guys stick together and see how the flow of the game goes and how Tibbs' system and game plan works. That's what Derrick Rose came here for. Derrick Rose did not come here to put the team on his back and to be that superstar caliber point guard that he once was in Chicago, even though, you know, he showed flashes of it here and there throughout the playoffs and throughout the ending of the season, you know, coming into the playoffs. But Derrick Rose, in my opinion, overall season grade for me, A, solid A. Like I said, I just specify why I give him a solid A. And not an A+ is because Tibbs had him coming off the bench, what I ultimately think he should have stuck with in the playoffs, because he kind of kept those high energy guys with the flow of things going, you know, whenever the first unit didn't have it, or they did have it, you know, they just picked it up and kept going. That was real pivotal and critical. And even though, you know, I really wasn't a fan of EP, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Meaning, no, EP wasn't the answer, but EP was the space filler for the moment. And like I said, Tibbs had it down to a science to where coming into the last 10 games of the season, he was pulling EP within the first 5 minutes of the game, which he should have been doing halfway through the season, because we probably would have ended up in the 2nd or 3rd spot. But that's another conversation for another video. But like I said, overall postseason grade, back to D Rose, overall postseason grade, me personally, I'm giving D Rose a flat out A++. Because like I said, he's the only New York Knickerbocker that showed up, in my opinion, every single game, even the last game. And like I said, in my honest opinion, I think the man was hurt and tired. At the age that he is, he's the oldest Knick on the team. The man was tired. Me being a middle-aged man in my 30s, I know how it is. You know, going out there running with young boys, you tired. You're not meant to play 30, 45. They ain't not meant to play those minutes, man. So, but other than that, Derrick Rose gets a solid A+ for me. And that's all I'm going to say. And salute to Derrick Rose. And hopefully the front office and Scott Perry and those boys bring that man back, because he was real pivotal and crucial to us in the postseason. And we could build off his energy moving forward. And he knows Tibbs' system. Excuse me. Now, Nerlens Noel. I'm going to be honest. Nerlens, I like Nerlens. He played 15 minutes for us today, 50% from the field. Only had 2 rebounds and only 1 block. And believe it or not, he was one of only 2 Knicks to not be in the minus as far as playing time on the floor with us. That says a lot. Even though he didn't really do much, and he only finished with 2 points, he wasn't in the negative. So I'm kind of stuck between the rock and the hard place when it comes to Nerlens Noel. But I like him. He's definitely something I wouldn't mind having come back on our team next season. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind utilizing him for a sign and trade for something bigger and better. But overall season's in grade for me for Nerlens Noel. I'm going to give Nerlens Noel a solid B+. He held us down in the season. And when Mitch went out with that foot injury, I believe it was, or the injury before that, the hand in the foot, like I said, Nerlens definitely stepped it up and earned himself a couple of new monikers. And I like how he held us down at the center spot. So he definitely gets a solid B for me, B+. Postseason grade for me for Nerlens Noel. I'm going to give Nerlens Noel a C+ postseason grade. Why? Is because Nerlens looked like how Nerlens looked before Mitch got hurt, where, he was top heavy, his legs wasn't strong enough to hold him up when he landed, and he was flipping and flopping and mistiming and all over the place. He looked like a lot of that Nerlens coming in this postseason, and I really wasn't feeling that. But he gets a C+ for me for overall postseason grade. That's pretty much all I can say about Nerlens, you know what I'm saying? But moving on to the next player, none other than AB himself, always buckets. That's my nickname for him. Alec Burks played 24 minutes for us today, shot 50% from the field, 33% from 3, 50% from the free throw line, and he finished with 12 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, and he was the other Nick that played for us that wasn't in the negative, and he was a solid 4 for us. Now, Alec Burks. AB. I like AB. He's a Swiss Army knife. He could do pretty much a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? He's pretty much a player that almost any team would love to have on their roster. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he does a little bit of everything. But me, honestly, my honest opinion, my season overall grade for AB, I'm going to give AB a solid B. And it's crazy because AB had the potential to have a B+, A- for me coming in for a season's ending grade, because, like I said, that man was real solid on the offensive end and not too bad, not too shabby on the defensive end. But what I really wasn't a fan of with AB was, he was somewhat of a Band-Aid to me, meaning that he got hurt a lot, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I know it's the flow of the game. I know he ain't the strongest guy on the floor, but like I said, he needs to work on his conditioning and taking his vitamins is making himself a little bit stronger. But that's what he gets for me for the season. Season ending grade. Now, postseason ending grade, AB, in my honest opinion, I'm going to give AB a solid B+. Why? Because not only was he, other than Derrick Rose, one of the few Knicks that showed up consistently, AB definitely, without a couple of, contributions he contributed towards the score playing this game in the postseason, we probably would have, been blown out by 30 or 40 more points, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, it was times to where he was doing what, he knows how to do, but like I said, he's no point guard, and he got too shifty with the basketball, and it looked like he was almost tripping over his own feet, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he's more of a scoring machine, not really a playmaker. So that's pretty much my overall grade for 8B. Now, moving on to the next player, Mr. IQ, Manuel Quickly, one of my favorite Knicks. Played 13 minutes for us today, right? Shot 33% from the field, 100% from three-point line, 83% from three, and quickly finished with 11 points, 2 steals, and was a -10. Now, Manuel Quickly has a huge upside, in my honest opinion. That boy is heavy on the offensive end. Defensively, he has some learning to do, but at the end of the day, he's a small body. Most small bodies got a lot of learning to do when it comes to the defensive end. But offensively, that boy's ahead of his time. And I think he's going to be something special moving forward. And my season-ending grade for Manuel Quickly is a solid A-. Why? Because Quickly, in my honest opinion, was a key factor in about 10 to 15 of our wins that we had in this short 72-game season. And yeah, he did hit the rookie wall during halfway into the season, like most of them does. But he was responsible for about 10 to 15 of our wins coming in to this season here. It was games to where we were down 19, 17, 16 points. And, you know, him and that bench crew came and they shot this and they shot that and they shot us back into the game. And, you know, everybody else went to work and it all came together like a nice puzzle. So, Quickly, yeah, he definitely gets that for me. Now, postseason grade, me from Quickly is getting a C+. Why? Because, honestly, this one has a little bit to do with the coaching, or in my honest opinion. I feel like he didn't get played enough in this playoff series. I don't know, it was because Tibbs doesn't really like rookies, he doesn't trust them, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. So I feel like a little bit of that, a little bit with, you know, playoff jitters, kind of like, you know, trickle down Quickly's game. But yeah, Quickly gets a C+ for me for the playoffs. Now, last but not least, last person I'm gonna get to is none other than another one of my favorite Knicks, the rookie prospect, Mr. Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin played 10 minutes and 15 seconds for us today, shot 25% from the field, and he finished with no points, no turnovers, 3 rebounds, and that pretty much was it. Now, I'm gonna sum this video up like this. Obi Toppin, another rookie who has a huge upside on the offensive end moving forward, you know, with our organization. But what I definitely want to see from Tibbs and the coaching staff going into next season, whoever we draft, whoever we sign to free agency, whoever we trade for, if Obi remains on this team next season, send this man to camp with Olajuwon. Send this man to camp with somebody to get him a post game. He is too athletic not to know what to do when he's in that post, other than haymaker it out to the next man on the wing. He needs a post game. And not only that, I definitely am hoping and praying if he's with us next season, I want to see him get more minutes. That man definitely started to bloom into his shell towards the end of the season and in his first round playoffs. No, he wasn't really a needle mover, but he definitely was a eye watcher for somebody to keep their eye on and bookmark moving into next season if he's on this roster. And that's pretty much what I'm gonna sum it up for Obi. Season's ending grade for me personally for Obi is a solid C. Why? Because something similar to the Quickly situation. In my honest opinion, he didn't get played enough. You know, 10, 15 minutes a game in a 48-minute game during a 72-game season, in my honest opinion, isn't really enough to get, you know, and fathom with rhythm with the guys and how the flow of things is going with the game, especially being a rookie and, you know, the speed of the game, the size of your opponents and everything changing from college. He definitely should have had more playing time. And they should have been working with him on his post game. Because like I said, we see what's broadcasted. They see everything before it's broadcasted. They see everything behind the closed doors. They know the unknown. So at the end of the day, they knew this. So I don't know if it's because they're not trying to invest in him or if he's going to be a trading piece moving down the line or whatever the case may be with Obi Toppin. I want to see more of the man on the floor getting more minutes, and I want to see the man get a post game. And that's how I want to sum it up for him. Postseason grade, me, for Obi Toppin, I'm going to go ahead and give Obi Toppin a solid B- for the postseason grade. Because he definitely stepped it up, like I said, towards the end of the season, started to bloom into, who he was as a player. And, in the playoffs, I like what I saw from him. And like I said, I think coming into this summer, him working, them having a summer league possibly maybe, along with them, working with him in a post game, that man going to be something shifty next season. You know what I'm saying? Look out for that. You know what I'm saying? But last but not least, I want to get on none other than the coach himself, the captain, Mr. Tom Thibodeau. Seasons ending grade for me, in my honest opinion. I'm going to go ahead and give Tom a solid A. I'm not even going to lie. I wanted to say B, but it wouldn't even come out right because I know I was capping on that one. But I'm going to go ahead and give Tom his flowers and give him a solid A. Because even though I was disappointed with his effort and what he did in the postseason, or how he handled the team and his rotation, I was very, very, very impressed. It was very impressive how he, got us to where we landed at the end of the season, and had us overachieving and had teams scouting us. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that man his flowers and give him a solid A overall for the season's ending coaching grade for me. And he definitely should have got Coach of the Year, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I'm kind of biased when it comes to the Knicks, but so what? Sue me. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm back on the scene. Like I said, was going through some personal things, getting back into the flow of things of life, because that's just how the world works. And thanks for everybody watching, supporting me. Like, share, subscribe. And I'm definitely going to do some more videos before the draft. Just because the season over, we ain't over. It's Knicks or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we got the juice. You know what I'm saying? We lost, but we won at the same time. And y'all see what I'm saying come next season. But and like, share, subscribe. Like I said, salute to everybody, and thanks. Cardinal Knicks.